I don't think he gets enough credit for all the songs that he had.
I know. I didn't realize
him and Nelly.
Songs.
Nelly and Ludacris, those type of rappers, because they kind of feel good type of rappers, people kind of shoot them out the way. And I think they've done a lot, and they should get credit for that.
Thank you. So, I like seeing them doing more than just singing and rapping.
Ja Rule up here, him too.
Yeah,
that's that era of rap that I think gets overplayed because of Tupac and Biggie, and people don't remember Ludacris and them.
Right.
They just remember kind of the gangster rappers all the time.
And if you say his name, people probably quickly think acting more than the rap.
Right now, the young people, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that's it.
So
Chris
it's a mention
Tucker
for them. Okay.
TD Jakes. I put this down here because TD Jakes was on the Breakfast Club. And the thing that I liked about it is he kind of talked about his new book, Disruptive Thinking, and the role of the Black church. I like how he got rid of the first thing that he wanted to clear up is that people keep combining his wealth with the church.
They've been doing that for years, and he's been really clear on that.
He said, I'm a businessman.
It's separate.
And I was a businessman before I became a pastor.
The Potter's House is separate from his books and
he said, things. I paid a lot of money for lawyers and accountants and other people to make sure that it's separate.
Yes.
That people don't say, oh, well, the Potter's House is doing this.
Or the money we're giving the Potter's House is going in his pocket for a book.
So this book is T.D. Jakes. It's not the Potter's House.
Thank you.
So maybe there might be some people at the Potter's House who might not agree with everything that's in his book.
Exactly.
But this is his book.
Because everybody wasn't in agreement when he had that talk show.
Right. And it's not his book as a pastor. It's his book as maybe like a businessman and a mentor, things like that.
Right.
Now, what I will say is that this is true when people who have a negative thing about, he does benefit from being the pastor of a mega church.
Yeah.
Because if you sell anything and you have a built-in audience, you're going to reap that benefit. We have a part of a sorority. I used to say this all the time. Every year we have a scholarship event.
Right.
And every year it's different if one person was trying to throw an event. But when you're part of a group, you have all of them selling tickets, plus their friends and their families. And then you have the other Greek organizations, fraternities and sororities that are buying the tickets. So you have this built-in sales machine.
Right.
So you reap the benefit of it.
Right.
But you have to understand that that's how I see him. He reaps the benefit of having a mega church, but those are his endeavors.
Right.
The movies that he does, the studio, all of that stuff he said is all T.D. Jakes.
T.D. Jakes.
But what I did like,
businessman,
I liked what he said about disruptive thinking. And he gave an analogy of him and his wife sitting on a couch. And this is when they didn't have no money. They was poor. And they had 3 legs on the couch. And one of the legs, the holding up the fourth leg, was not a book, a tree branch or something. And they was sitting there. He said it had one of them old time fireplaces. I think he said they was looking at it. It had stones around it. And they was keeping warm because they probably didn't have no heat. That's how they was keeping warm. And his wife was like, that would be nice if those stones was around, would be the thing that was holding up the couch. It would look nice. And it even matches the fireplace and stuff. So he said she went up to get to the kitchen or something. I don't remember what he said, to get something to drink or whatever. He got up, he ripped the couch apart, went outside, ripped up the sidewalk, was getting stones from the sidewalk. She came back in and said, what are you doing? You're a nut job. He said, you said the couch would be better if it had the stone. She said, I didn't mean, we're literally watching TV or something, right? Not now. He said, but when you said it, I acted on what you said. He said, I feel like, this is his opinion, in a relationship, you have to have someone who is disruptive and somebody who's kind of calm in head, thinks logically and keeps everybody on the playing field. His wife is a calm and logical.
Plan it out.
Don't be all crazy
be prepared,
and stuff.
Just
and he's the type, if you give him something, he runs with it.
And we got relatives like that.
So he said, God showed him, he liked that about him.
Okay.
And he trusts him that if he tell him something, he gonna run and do
Abraham.
it. Yes.
Go sacrifice your son.
And he gave the example of break. He said, you can't build something until you break something down.
Okay. Because it's not.
You can't remake something. You can't add on to a house until you break a wall down.
Something has to go down.
You can't build a building unless you break the ground.
Exactly.
Something has to be broken.
Is that disruptive?
No, he's saying being broken, being not being safe, not playing it safe, not thinking outside the box.
Okay.
So I love when he gave that analogy. I also like when he gave the analogy of, he said Warren Buffett. He was listening to Warren Buffett one time. And Warren Buffett said, because he was talking about how rich he was, because, he was one of the richest men in the world. And how he's still up there, like the top 5 or 6.
Yep.
And they said, how does it feel about you being rich and, being, when you die, you can pass that on to your family or whatever. He said, I never look at money as being rich. He said, and I'm paraphrasing.
Thank you.
He said, rich to me is when you pass on and your family and your friends are around you.
You're surrounded by family and friends.
And they love you.
Yeah.
That's rich to me.
That's rich.
And I thought about that. Mama's still up. I thought about our grandmother. When she passed, everybody was around her.
Yeah, even to her granddaughter.
And I thought about our cousin. He brought his daughter, which was her great-grandchild. And she was there. So she represented the great-grandkids.
That level,
We represented all the grandkids. And then she had her daughters.
Yeah.
I felt like she died rich.
Yeah. She was surrounded by all of us.
She died rich. So I love that analogy when people say, and that's kind of what he said, when people are saying how close he is to his kids and stuff like that, and should you be close to your kids like that? And he said, as a child, you should not, that's not your friend. You're a parent. He said, my son is 42 or whatever.
Okay.
He's a grown man.
Yeah.
He's my best friend now.
Oh, see? Thank you.
He said, that's rich.
That's rich.
Your kids love you enough to, I'm a friend of yours.
That's a fruitful relationship.
Yes.
Yes.
So I love how he said that, which takes me back to the whole thing we was talking about with the Ebony K. Williams thing and dating a bus driver. People look at money, and that's what I was telling you, and jobs as what makes you rich. That's not what makes you rich.
Fulfilled. Your life is fulfilled.
It's not. Yes. It's what's here inside that makes you rich. I don't know why we don't grasp that.
Here's the thing too, because even Sonny made the comment again, even from Ebony's comment to Ludacris, generational wealth.
Right.
Leave it. I get it.
Yes.
I get it. You are responsible if you have the knowledge and you've learned to pass it on,
right,
and to hopefully build your family to go to school,
right,
to better themselves, to have savings, to make a buck and to make it stretch or whatever. But we get so focused on that.
Exactly.
We forget about the richness of our family, our unit of our family, and friends drawing close to us. So
you've left, Sonny, you've left generational wealth. At what expense? Is it at the expense of you spending time with your family? I don't think that's her, because I do believe she put so much into
a family person.
She's a family person.
For sure, yeah.
But that is more important than the money that you leave them. The money is important too.
Yes, it is.
Because you don't want to leave them. They can't. Here's the thing, and I bring up the fact when Ebony was talking about how the Indian people are at the top of the list of wealth in the world. All their religions talk about working on the inside. Hinduism, Buddhism, all of that.
Being a better person.
Being a better person.
Kind.
Once you take care of that, then the outside, in my opinion, will automatically start happening for you.
Well, I know one of the scriptures in the Bible talks about, beloved, I wish that you prosper,
right,
and be in health,
in good health,
as
even
as your soul. It's
prosper.
like balance,
exactly.
Because you want your soul to prosper, because
yes.
that's really going to take
yes.
you past even the ending of this earth.
Yes,
and you want to prosper while you're here.
So when people ask, well, would you date a janitor? I always say, why is he a janitor? Again, you gotta ask why he's in that situation. If I talk to this man and he say, I'm a janitor, but I have 3 degrees or whatever. If education is important to you, I have 3 degrees. I used to be in the world, the white collar world. You know what? I got out of that because I wanted to spend more time with the kids, with students. And as a janitor, it's so funny, but I find that I mentor more. Now, I am a youth minister at my church. That's my real love. That's what I do.
Into the kids in the
That's
community.
what I do. But I do this just so I can have some money, even though I already own my own house and everything.
Yeah.
See, you gotta talk to people and find out why they do what they do.
And then too, when you do talk to them, you will know.
And how would you know if he's a janitor if you meet him at a club and y'all talking?
Or
at
church, he's not wearing his janitor outfit.
And you talk to him, you laugh, y'all talk, you have a good time, and then maybe one day you say, I like this guy. I see him. He's a youth minister at the church. I like him. And he asked me out. I'm going to go out with him.
Yeah, he has integrity.
Y'all go out, you eat, and you finally ask him, what do you do for a living? I'm a janitor.
Now, another thing.
Are you going to be like, oh, well, no, I'm
Another thing you said that they asked him about was his opinion on ministers that use profanity in the pulpit.
So Charlamagne asked him, what do you think about ministers who cuss and use unorthodox things in the pulpit?
And we know there's a lot of them.
He said, you know how I'm going to answer this? He said, I could answer and say this, that, and say something negative or what I don't like. I'd rather concentrate on the things we have in common.
Thank you.
He said, because too much of division. He said, that's how the enemy and they divide you.
It causes you to not be unified.
And you don't come together on common ground.
Yes.
He said, so what if I did answer that question and say all the stuff I don't like?
Exactly.
The people who go to that man's church or that woman's church, they going to continue to go to his church.
That's why they're
Me saying something is not going to stop them from going. He said, you don't have to go to church.
Yeah, you don't.
You have to go to the grocery store. You have to get gas. You have to go to the gas station.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to church. So if I believe that if somebody's sitting in somebody's church, it's because they want to be there.
They want to be there.
And nothing I'm going to say, you going to say, or anybody going to say that's going to make them change their mind.
Thank you.
So he said, so I feel like we need to start concentrating on what we have in common more than the things that divide us. And we talked about that a few days ago, and we talked about slavery. And we said that's how the slave master would keep the slaves from coming together.
Divided, yes.
I don't want to be with them. That person is light, or that person's dark, or
they
he's
get
ugly,
to work in the house,
or he look too
uppity,
African. He got a big nose, or she got a big lip, or she fat, or he's skinny.
Exactly.
Where if you can divide us and not have us come together.
Right.
Same thing we started off talking about Trump. Democrats are divided. They quick on saying, I don't like him, but they'll vote Republican. They'll say they can't stand him. I can't stand Trump.
You really think they would still vote though?
They'll still vote.
Not the Annas and Alyssa.
No, not if he is the final. If he is
Alyssa
there,
and them said they have to do. I honestly feel he's gotten to the point where he's caused so much division
he's so ridiculous.
That McCain's wife even said, I'm not voting Republican.
Yeah.
And she made it known.
But for the most part, Republicans vote Republican.
We'll see.
Where Democrats will sometimes vote independent, they'll vote, you know what I'm saying?
But the bottom line is there's power in numbers.
There's powers in numbers.
Because I was telling my sister when she told me about this T.D. Jakes in his reply, thank you, T.D. Jakes for using wisdom. Because so much of us in the body of Christ, because we're the body of Christ. We're the church,
right?
You know, as part of his body.
Right.
And when we dog each other out, that's causing division. It's like when you think about your family members. Your uncle, you got an uncle, a crazy uncle. You got a sibling that's just like, oh, you can dog them out. But when other people try to dog him out, you're like, wait a minute, you talking about that's my brother.
Right.
Don't be talking about my brother.
Right.
That's my close, whatever. Yep. So thank you for answering that question that we're always quick to judge and to beat down each other. And he didn't. He took the high. When they go low,
you go high.
You go high.
So, but I like that. I like how so that was a good, if you get a chance to go to Breakfast Club, see TD Jakes on there. Mike Perks says, you guys are back. Great. Scooby-Doo says, glad you guys are back. Thank God for janitors and trash men and women. Imagine the world without people cleaning up. That's exactly.
Thank you.
They're essential workers, and they're not average or mediocre or middle.
Right.
To me, I was trying to think of what's a mediocre job. I think a mediocre job, and I hate people that if they're in this field, because I think this is mediocre, and it doesn't mean that it's negative.
What does the word mediocre mean?
What Ebony was trying to say is the word mediocre is not negative. She's not. It's in the middle. I think a mediocre job is ticket takers. Like a person at the movies or something that take a ticket.
The guy that I talked to yesterday.
I think that's a mediocre job. It's not bad. It's not good. It's not essential, is it?
Yeah, because until they get robots, they need somebody to take your ticket to make sure you paid.
But you can have the person selling the ticket and then you go in from the door that's sold.
That's true.
So that's
and he was pointing to where the theaters were too,
which is a good thing. But I don't think that's essential. Also, greeters. Greeters aren't essential to me. The Walmart greeters.
You know what? I don't know, because we have greeters at church.
A lot of them are
Praise
old.
the Lord, saints.
Right.
The Lord,
a lot of them are old, and they
sure.
just giving them something to do.
But you know what? It does it sets the atmosphere.
It does.
Welcome to Walmart.
But I
get kind of happy when they say, welcome to Walmart. I love it even when I go in Walgreens, and they already taking at the counter. Welcome to Walgreens.
But you didn't say thank you. Hold on. Now, you just said it. The cashier can say it when you come in. You don't have to have a special
Walgreens
person.
Don't have greeters.
It's not essential. A bus driver is essential.
Yeah, it is. He is. Garbage collector is essential.
Is essential.
A janitor
so
is.
I don't like that. I don't like her putting them on the same level. And I'm not saying
ticket takers.
It's not essential. Or other jobs. Y'all, to be honest with you, a lot of actors and actresses and us, we're not essential.
We're not. We're entertainment. But YouTube is taking over so much. You don't have to go to movies anymore.
If we go off, some people will miss
They'll
us.
still live.
But you'll live on.
And find somewhere else somebody else to listen to.
Yeah, we're not essential.
Okay.
So this job, our other job, we're essential.
That's funny.
Our company.
Okay.
But not this. So that's what I'm saying. All right. We don't have time. We're going past our little time. So let's go to your...
Well, we started over, so...
I know. Make sure, y'all, if you want to join our membership for the Woods Report, go to our main page like this. Go to this section here that says join, and make sure you click on that. And then when you click on that, you're going to go to this page, and it's just going to tell you if you want to join. It's $9.99 a month.